What up, y'all? This nigga said, hurry up. What's up, Brother Love? What's up, Dr. Sinister? Red. I didn't even look. I didn't know YouTube was letting y'all know. I was just trying to set the show up. Shit. I didn't know that you niggas was in the chat room. I had to roll this blunt. I said I had got the idea for the show. So then I saw all this shit going on. I said, let me go ahead and make a thumbnail real quick. So I made that thumbnail. I put all them people's pictures on I put Shaq and Shannon Sharp and Adam Silver. For those of you want to know what the thumbnail's about, that's Adam Silver, NBA league commissioner. Shannon Sharp, hoe caking for Fox Sports, and Shaq hoe caking for TNT. And how the role that they played in Kyrie Irving getting suspended. That's what we about to talk about today. What up, y'all? Man, it's time that we divorce ourselves from these athletes. I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what? Fuck the NBA the same way I was saying fuck the NFL. The same way I'm saying fuck the NFL, that's what it is right now with the NBA. I don't know if it's permanent, I'm gonna be like that, but I'm telling you this. DirecTV, lucky they cut their customer service line out. Like I literally just paid for NBA League Pass like 2 weeks ago. And look, Adam Silver, if you made that move, ooh, I'm gonna call DirecTV. I'm going to DC tomorrow. When I get back, I think I'm like cancel NBA League Pass. I don't even use the word boycott. That's just played out. Boycott, that word boycott is played out. Like nobody takes a boycott serious. Just stop fucking with people. If somebody cheats on you and does you wrong, do you boycott them or do you just stop fucking with them? What do you do? Do you boycott or do you just move on? You know? See, let me tell you how the NBA works structure wise. The money that the NBA has is guaranteed. Okay? They signed a $24 billion TV deal with ESPN back in 2016. And the deal ends, I think, either 2023 or 2024 is when that deal ends. The amount of attention given to the NBA between now and then is going to dramatically impact the amount of money they're able to negotiate on the next collective TV bargaining agreement. I think in 2024. I think. Don't get my words. It's either 23 or 24. It's one of them years. Do you boycott or you just not fucking with people? And right now, I'm not fucking with the NBA. I ain't boycotting them. I'm just not fucking with them. Like, what's up, Tasha? And another thing, and I'm not saying this about anybody here in particular, but we about to set some ground rules here. Kyrie did not fold. No, he didn't. Kyrie is an employee of an organization. And there are certain things where you're an employee. He's not a boss. There are no bosses in the NBA, not even LeBron. Everybody's an employee. And him giving up that $500,000 was going to be given up by hook or by crook. He wasn't going to get out of this without giving up money in a Jewish-run league. Make no mistake about it. He wasn't getting out of this without giving up money. This ain't the time, black people. Let's real quick, because I had some comments on my Instagram earlier where I saw people coming in and see, because if Kanye said this, and because of Nick Cannon, they don't know how to articulate the point. And black people, black people. This ain't the time to have a circular firing squad of what the nigga did wrong and how the nigga should have responded. Enough of that dumb talk. If you're gonna talk like that, this ain't the place. All right. I respect everyone's opinion. I'm not saying you shouldn't think that way. I'm saying if you feel that way, you have valid point. You have a valid reason to feel that way. I'm just saying this isn't the environment for that. I'm not gonna foster. I'm not fostering a black people circular firing squad right now. I'm talking about the niggas who work with the white supremacists versus the black people who have independent minds. I'm not here to judge the people with independent minds what they did wrong or didn't do right. That's the first thing we got to stop as niggas. Niggas always want to judge a person protesting and saying what they did wrong. Let me tell you something. There is no proper way to protest injustice. There's no guidebook in the manual. There's no flow sheet. If you if you stay quiet and then do this and then do that, your boycott demands will be met. No. When people are free thinkers and have their own mind, that means there is an unlimited range of possibilities of what they can do and what they will do. And it's a guarantee either part or all of what they do to stand in their protest. Either part of it isn't going to agree with me and you, or all of it won't agree with me and you, or some area in the middle we won't agree with. But if somebody is standing up, is speaking for themselves, and they're speaking out in the way that they think they need to speak out, however they handle it is how they handle it. We as black people got to stop majoring in the minors. We major in some minor bullshit as a people. We do. Let's just tell the truth. Niggas will have a whole ass argument about what another black person should have did and how they should have protested in a way that's gonna make other black people feel comfortable in how they protested. Stop that dumb talk, black people. He do what he do, and if he feels, if I see a black man standing on his own, especially when I see white people attacking that black person for standing on their own, at that point they can't do no wrong. Whatever the fuck they do, I'm down with. You ain't gonna see me out here talking about some. Well, next time, Kyrie, he should just go ahead and apologize. Then you'll get another nigga saying, "Man, he gave up $500,000. Man, he folded." The fuck are we talking about that for anyway, and not the white supremacists who put him there? Think about that for a second. Niggas will spend all day talking about what Kyrie or somebody Kanye West or Nick Cannon or what anybody who stands up to these people do. It's always 10,000 niggas saying how they should have did it better. And you ain't did shit. Nighttime. Ooh, look at Jupiter back there. You see Jupiter? Jupiter's always so amazing, isn't he? Planet of expansion. But anyway, we ain't about to have that dumbass talk over here. You can't properly protest nothing. Do the meteorologists judge the path of the hurricane? Or do they just tell you the motherfucker's coming? When a hurricane comes to sweep out and tear shit up, do they say, well, if the hurricane had just left this building here and destroyed that one? No. When Mother Nature say it's time to go, motherfucker, it's time to go. And how people feel about it, how people judge it don't mean shit. And you ain't gonna ever, 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 ever sit around and see white folks in front of black people talking to each other about how they should have did us wrong. As long as the niggas are getting done wrong, they're gonna agree with that. But you have a whole bunch of niggas getting around talking about how a black person should stand up to their oppression. We're gonna start off by saying And then for those of you watching the show later on, and y'all gonna comment in the comments after the show, if you have a comment talking about what Kyrie should have did different, I'm probably gonna delete that hoe. I'm not even gonna give a platform for niggas talking about niggas, not talking about how somebody do what they do. But with that being said, you saw basically Charles Barkley and Shaq a couple of days ago talking about how Kyrie should be punished and how he's wrong for what he's doing. And you see these black faces, standing up and stomping down for these other folks. And now Kyrie Irving is suspended for 5 games. And for the foreseeable future, I ain't fucking with basketball. And y'all know how much I love basketball. Basketball is my heart. When it comes to entertainment, I don't have too many things that I just kind of sit back and relax and watch. It's just most of my time is spent being constructive and doing shit. And second, if I turn on something, I'm either listening to audiobooks, studying my cards, YouTube videos of people who speak education or something into my life that I can use. I spend very little time watching mundane activities. That's it. And half of the time I'm spending watching mundane activities is going to be basketball. I love basketball. But I don't love what just happened to Kyrie Irving by my favorite sports league. And I can't think of too many things I love more than basketball. And y'all regulars, y'all know me. My regulars know me, how much I love basketball. But how could I watch knowing what's going on and seeing a black man get suspended for posting an Amazon link? Ain't nobody going after Jeff Bezos. Ain't nobody going after Google Chrome for hosting it. Nobody's going after Firefox or whatever site, publishing company. They're not going after no white people in this chain. That they're going after the black person who posted the link. They're going after that. How can I support that? I'm not saying I'm going to permanently. I don't know. I don't know my next. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm being honest with y'all. Can I be 100 with y'all? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know when I stopped watching football, that was it. I never went back. I don't know. I don't know if I'm. I don't know. I don't know. Am I gonna watch for the foreseeable future? No, I'm not watching for the. I'm gonna call the Ray TV and try to get my league pass canceled. That's a damn show. That's the least I can do is get my NBA league pass canceled. That's the least I can do. I will do that. I was planning. I'm in DC this weekend. My plans was to go to the Washington Wizards game on a Sunday. They play against the Memphis Grizzlies, and I was this close to buying a ticket the other night, and something in my spirit told me not to buy it. It was like a cool seat, like near the floor. It was like 10th. It was on like eighth or 10th row, and the ticket was only like 200. L.A. Staples Center to sit 8th, 10th row. That shit gonna be like that's just easy gonna be $1,800 nowadays in L.A. It's gonna be 1,800 on the cheap end, 1,000 a stack to sit on the 8th row. And I was I want to go to the game on Sunday. That's part of the reason why I'm staying an extra day in DC. I would have flown out of DC on Sunday, but I chose to fly out on Monday because I was like, I want to check out a Washington Wizards game. I've visited at least half of all NBA arenas, if not more. I've been I've been to at least half of the NBA arenas, and my goal was to visit them all. I've been to Charlotte for games. I'm so much of a basketball holic. I've been to games, and when the Charlotte Bobcats were around, I flew to Charlotte to see them play. You know, I've been to Cleveland, Minnesota, New Orleans, Miami, Dallas. Not Dallas. I haven't been to a game in Dallas yet. I want to. But Phoenix, Oakland, Sacramento, LA, All-Star Weekend in Vegas. I done seen games in Memphis. And I was ready to go see a game in DC for the first time this coming Sunday. And I'm not. How can I, as a man who respects free thought and who has love for my people, how can I pay for that? See, if you turn on a game on TV, you already paying your cable bill. You already watching whatever. That cake's already baked. Whether you watch it or not, they made their money when it comes to like the NBA. But like now, as far as like pulling my wallet out and saying, okay, here's $300 for me to come see 2 hours of action, 48 minutes of action. How can I do that? I don't. I can't. I'm disappointed because I was like looking forward to going to the game. Hell, I don't want to be out in DC that long. I want to get back to my wife. I love my wife. Shit. When I go out of town, I leave and come right back. I love coming home to that woman. Shit. When I see her at the airport, I always have her drive my car when she come pick me up. When I see her driving my car, pick me up, nigga, my day begins. I love that shit. I wasn't gonna send no fucking DC an extra day. I stayed because I wanted to watch some hoop. I wanted to see John Morant. You know, I want to see Kyle Kuzma, former Laker. I know I ain't going now. Is the Smithsonian open on Sundays, y'all? Is the Smithsonian open? The Smithsonian? I think I'm gonna hit that Smithsonian up on Sunday. I think I'm gonna hit that Smithsonian up. I might see if I can get reservations for the Smithsonian and the African American History. I might see if I can get both the museums up. But if not, I'm at least hit up that Smithsonian. I see where my hotel is. It ain't that far from the Smithsonian, so yeah. So I appreciate that Akuma 80. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. It's gonna go far. Okay, so it is. I gotta do some. Yeah, boom. I need some fire in DC. I really do. I usually fly with my weed, but I don't trust flying to Washington D.C. with shit in my bag. Even though you can fly out to L.A. with weed in your bag, I don't trust it. Think I'm flying clean as a whistle. Now when I get there, uh, holler at me. Well, I got a contact out in D.C. already, but they got dispensaries. I'll get it legally out there. I heard they got dispensaries. I'm gonna get it legally out there. YouTube, get it legally. You say you can find it in DC. I'm finding it in Washington. I mean, into Dulles. Cause I sure did just buy a quarter pound of weed last week, and I got a lot of weed here at the crib. I, well, I ain't got a QP no more. That QP I bought last last week is down to it's probably cut in half. The way I be blowing this goddamn tree. So yeah, yeah. You see, you have edibles? No, I don't do edibles. I need trees. I need trees. I appreciate that deep impressions. I'm not gonna tell you my price tag on a QP because I got people who love me, so they give me a good deal. But you wouldn't get my deal if you came to. But a decent QP in LA starts you at about 400. You can get lower than I pay way less than that though. But yeah, I appreciate that skill Raider. But back to what we're talking about. We're talking about the NBA suspending Kyrie and the weak ass nigga ass monkey ass Shaq and Shannon Sharp and Charles Barkley. This is going to be somewhat of a discussion of an extension of yesterday's talk. We had a dope discussion last night when I had my man Franchise come through. He got a son, 3 kids in Division I basketball, 3 out of his 5 kids, and one of them, that little boy Caleb, I think the little boy gonna go. He can go if he's. But anyway, so I'm going to get a little deeper into some things tonight that I didn't get into last night because we talked to my man Franchise for so long. The conversation went in a different direction, but I'm glad it went that way. But tonight I'm going to touch on some things I wanted to touch on last night that I didn't touch on. So it's almost going to be like a part 2 of last night's show, if y'all saw it. And then I'm also looking to see what you guys are talking about. But y'all know, whenever I get into a stream of consciousness, I don't look at the chat room because you niggas are going to say something smart and fuck up my whole thought process. So when I'm vibing, I don't look at you niggas. But what's going on right now is what's disgusting about what's going on with Kyrie Irving is the assistants. Amari Stoudemire came out. Where the fuck this nigga been? And whoever asked what Amari Stoudemire thinks about anything? You see how quick they can pull a nigga out of nowhere, out of obscurity, to down another black person? I know Amari Stoudemire has been on this Hebrew and this Jewish thing, Hebrew thing for the last 5 or 6 years. I saw it when he was in the Big Three like 3 years ago. I was like, okay, this nigga is on this Hebrew shit. I ain't tripping. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the NBA never. But that was Ice Cube's Big Three talking about that. When it came to ESPN or anything NBA wise, man, the NBA ain't gave a fuck about Amari Stoudemire since he was with the Phoenix Suns. When was Amari's last good year before he got hurt? It was when he got traded to the Knicks in 2013. When he got hurt that final time, and when he had the eye damage. What was that 2012, 2013? That was the last time the NBA, ESPN, Fox Sports, and any of these media outlets that cover sports have given 1/3 of half of one fuck about Amari Stoudemire. You see what I mean? They don't. They know where you are. They know who you are. But they pick you out when they need you to push their bullshit. You got Amari Stoudemire coming out of nowhere, and look at Shannon Sharp. The reason why I have Shannon on that because I remember people who are Facebook friends of mine back in 2016 probably remember this, but I remember when Shannon Sharp first came out. I think it was like 2016. See, it was somewhere around around the election of Trump. Skip Bayless leaves ESPN, joins Fox Sports, and by 2016, I'm already 5, 6 years past watching sports TV. I totally divorced myself from sports TV in 2010, back in 2010, 2011, sometime around there. Now, I had been winging myself off of it before then, but by 2010, 2011, I was all the way done with sports TV. Done. So when Shannon Sharp first came over to Fox Sports with Skip Bayless, what they did was they did the same move that it's Fox. You gotta know what move they about to make. They did the same move they made with Martin and Living Single. They built their network off in the living color, off allowing black people to be authentically black. In living color, Martin Living Single, that's what really solidified Fox as a network. For those of you too young to remember or just don't know, Fox was a new network. I think it came around like in like 1985 or something like that. And it's a newer network, and it wasn't in every it wasn't in every city. Fox was in select cities in the 80s. They used Married with Children, which was created by a black man, The Simpsons, and then to a greater extent, In Living Color, because In Living Color was a cracking ass show on TV in like 1990. Period. In Living Color, and then after that, in 1992, you get Martin, and then 93 you get Living Single, and then in 94 you get New York Undercover. And when they had that Thursday night lineup, Martin, Living Single, New York Undercover, that's what really solidified Fox as a network. And then when you get to like 95, 96, you start seeing other networks do the same. You had UPN and you had the WB. UPN had like, there was a show called Sparks. That was with like Uncle Phil. That was a show with like Uncle Phil from, he was a lawyer on the show. They had like this other bullshit that show called Homeboys Not a Space. And then the WB had the Wayans brothers. And this is the formula to build a network. When it came to, and so when Shannon Sharp came to Fox Sports with Skip Bayless in 2016, Trump was in office, Trump was new, and the black folks are feeling real scared and shit. So they allowed Shannon Sharp to be as black as he can be. And that motherfucker was pro-black. He's saying everything. That nigga was sounding like Malcolm Martin Luther King. That nigga was sounding like Stokely, Geronimo Pratt, Philip A. Randolph, Garvey. Nigga, Shannon Sharp, that nigga was sounding like motherfucking Ice Cube, Kendrick, Nas, nigga. And everybody, all these black people were so happy in 2016. Look at Shannon. Shannon, real. Shannon, real. And I'm telling y'all right now, Fox is smart. They knew that in 2016, a lot of people were still like very, very, and still are, dismayed at Stephen A. Smith. But now people know who Stephen A. Smith is, so you either fuck with him or you don't. But around that time, I had been off Stephen A. Smith. I've been seeing what he was about. But around when Trump came in office, the end of Obama, when all those black people was getting shot, and they saw Stephen A. Smith when black folks get shot, he was basically a what about black on black crime ass nigga. So black America is very disenchanted with Stephen A. Smith. Again, follow me here. We like having these history lessons. History lessons ain't about just studying ancient Kemet or ancient America. Sometimes we have to have history lessons from just 2 years ago because America is good at revisionist history. And if you don't keep in front of your mind recent history, they'll revise recent history for you to help you draw the wrong conclusion about things. So anyway, we going back in history to the context. 2016. 2016. Somebody got pulled over. Oh, shit. I heard somebody revving their engine. Now, the police pulling the motherfucker over for revving their engine. I'm gonna sit out here and watch this shit. I'm gonna watch this shit and talk to y'all. Oh, that's a black cop. They good. They laughing and shit. Ain't gonna be no drama. It's a nigga cop. Anyway, them niggas is laughing. Anyway, um, we got to go back to the context of 2016. And so Shannon Sharp, they're allowing him to be black, black. This nigga, Shannon Sharp, every day you wake up, you seeing clips on Facebook, clips on Twitter, Instagram. You see what Shannon Sharp said? Shannon Sharp said, blah, 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 blah. And they used us black people. And I'm saying us, 'cause I'm not involved, but I'm black. I knew what was going on with some bullshit. I knew it, but it's not about me. I don't. I'm not a. I'm good ass nigga. I'm a. I want all of us to be good ass nigga. That's how I get down. I get down like that. I want all of us to be good. So I'm telling black people on my Facebook, the niggas is calling me a hater. Man, Dwan, you crazy. You crazy, man. Shannon Sharp is real. I think you just hating, man. Everybody ain't gonna be like man, Dwan. No, nigga. I know patterns of behavior. Black people gotta get better at pattern recognition. Let me say this real quick. We have to get better at pattern recognition. When you recognize patterns and you understand patterns, hey, that nigga got the cheapest fucking motorcycle. I got a neighbor that live at the end of the block. This nigga got the cheapest fucking motorcycle you ever had. That motorcycle got 17 cc's. Shit, I think the Nazis had better motorcycles in 1932 Germany than this motherfucker. God damn, that loud ass, slow ass motorcycle. I wish that nigga moved. Y'all ever got that neighbor you wish would move? God damn. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. My bad. I still hear that cheap ass motorcycle. That shit going 7 miles an hour, making 17. Man, fuck out of here. Anyway. I wish that nigga moved. Anyway, anyway. Back to what I was talking about. Back to what I was talking about. This nigga. So you said I just looked the chat room. You said why would Marcellus Wiley going full of MAGA shock you? Marcellus Wiley been a coon, bruh. Marcellus Wiley was a coon back when I watched this shit. And it's sad to say because he from here in LA too. I don't know him personally, but I got like a lot of homeboys who do. Marcellus Wiley was a coon back when I was watching ESPN, bruh. Where you been? But anyway, yeah, Chris Jack, really? Like, I remember Marcellus Wiley cooning, and I haven't watched an ESPN show in over a decade, bruh. But much love to you, Jack King. We all get it when we get it. I ain't judging. I ain't judging. But anyway, Shannon Sharp got they used us. They used Black America. These networks know what black people want to hear. That's why whenever somebody says it's all about the money and that's it, that's a cop out. That's a fucking cop out. It ain't about race. It's about money. These motherfuckers will sacrifice money any day, all day, and twice on Sunday to maintain power. What we're seeing with Kyrie right now is a power move. TV is propaganda. We always got to remember that. Whether you're watching movies, watching romantic comedies, sitcoms, sports, You're watching propaganda. Media sets the vision to how society is to view itself. Write that down. And just make sure you quote me when you tell somebody else. Media sets the vision as to how the society is to view itself. Okay? And everything falls in line with that. And if you one of them idiots talking about some, there ain't no conspiracies. All a conspiracy is two people agreeing upon something. That's all a conspiracy is. Two people having a conversation and making an agreement. That's a conspiracy. So if you say you don't believe in conspiracies, that means you don't believe in conversations. Fucking idiot. Okay? With love. With love. But you're a fucking idiot. All media is controlled by less than 10 outlets. All media is controlled by less than. All it takes is 4 people to be on accord for all of our media to be on accord. You ever think about that? ESPN is controlled by who? Disney. Fox Sports is controlled by who? Fox. Wait, hold. Don't Fox? Didn't Disney just buy a portion of 20th Century Fox films like 2 years ago? Who was that bought 20th Century Fox? Didn't Disney buy a portion of that 2 years ago, chat room? Let me know. Let's say they didn't. You have NBC Universal. You have Viacom. Viacom got the music on lock. NBC Universal got the movies and the media. Fox got the media and the movies. And Disney got the sports and the media. Yeah, Disney runs Fox, right? Disney runs Fox. All it takes is one person that in that company to say, "Hey, I hire you to execute ABC plan. This is what you got to do." What happens when you with your job? Do you tell your boss, "I'm not going to do what you asked me to. I'm going to do what I want"? What happens when you're at your job and you do what you want versus what the boss asks you to do? So another quick little history lesson for you young niggas in here. This is something that I saw happen right in front of my own fucking eyes. I'll never forget when ESPN bought Disney. When I say ESPN bought Disney, I'm dyslexic like a motherfucker. When Disney bought ESPN, let's get that straight. Before Disney bought ESPN in the 90s, if you was around in the 90s, press the number 1. What was on ESPN? Susan Summer workout videos, Thigh Master infomercials, niggas doing white boys doing tree chopping contests, World's Strongest Man contests, work on your abs videos. ESPN wasn't shit. Between 8 a.m., between like being in the morning time, like all morning through like until SportsCenter came on at 3 o'clock. ESPN wasn't shit. But it did start having some good interviews. You had shows like Up Close with Roy Firestone, good in-depth interviews. You had you had um you had Up Close, something that was with Bob Lee when they would have some. And ESPN used to have a ton of writers, and they used to and when they would tell stories, when they would talk sports, they would talk about the game more so than itself than just the numbers. And then when ESPN was purchased by Disney, nigga, that shit went from, if there was an interview show, they used to interview athletes. They went from interviewing athletes to having athletes debate each other. Everything became a fight. It started with cold pizza. Cold pizza was the first iteration of First Take. It was cold pizza, and then it was around the horn. It was the other one, PTI, Pardon the Interruption. Pardon the Interruption and around the horn and cold pizza were the first debate shows that really got this whole culture that we have now of debate and fight and talking and back and forth shit. That's where it started. That's circa 2002, 2003. In 2000, Fox Sports was a regional thing. They didn't have one national channel. Fox Sports was regional, and they had a show called the Best Damn Sports Show Series, the Best Damn Sports Show ever, something like that. And that was Tom Arnold, Stephen A. Smith, Michael Irvin, that white boy who's still Chris something. He's still over there at Fox, and some other football player. So that's that started the round table debate. That show. All this is going on between 2000 and 2003, 4 is when all this stuff gets going, right? 2004, ESPN buys the NBA. Not buys the NBA. ESPN signs the NBA to a TV deal. Before 2004, the NBA was played on NBC. Those are the best year ever of the NBA. Marv Albert, nigga, Mike Fratello, those years. And then, what was it, 2003? Because the Lakers won in 2002, and that was on NBC. And when the Lakers lost it to the San Antonio Spurs in 2003, I think I remember watching that on ABC. So it was 2003, I think, when ABC took over ESPN. And that's when it really should, if you think about it, legally, shouldn't it be a conflict of interest for the ESPN to both televise the games and announce the games and control all the media of the games? How can the people who signed a $24 billion deal with you also be in control of your? That should be a conflict of interest. But anyway, that shows you how these stories are brought together and how incestuous and how these ties are when it comes to sports and media. And why is it that they do this? Why did I say sports is propaganda? Because a lot of people don't watch movies and sitcoms and listen to the radio. A lot of people like sports. Just pay attention, black people. Look what happened during 2020, after George Floyd got killed. The world was changing in front of our eyes. Protests. There was no sports on TV. All it took was 6 weeks of no basketball for America to flip. They weren't talking about reparations back then. Now, shit, I'm going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to talk about reparations. That all started with 6 weeks, just basketball off for 6 weeks, a total of 3 months. It was off for a total of 3 months, but those first 6 weeks it was off, it went from La La Land to let's burn this bitch down for some rights. That happened in 6 weeks of basketball pulling the plug. That's how quick that's how quick it was for people just to realize what it really is. So of course they use everybody's favorite puppet, LeBron James, to say, "Hey, I think we need to start playing basketball again. Basketball is gonna help us." When a lot of you dumb niggas wake up, y'all gonna look at and see how much of a role LeBron James plays in working with the white supremacists and how they get down. LeBron James, Jay-Z, same shit. Same shit. They work with them folks. And whatever they say that's quote unquote pro-black, that's something that's contrived and approved by somebody that would accuse you of anti-Semitism if you just said, "Hey, we're the original Jews." So those are the people that approve LeBron James's protest statements, okay? I don't care how you feel about it. And I love Chris Paul as a player, but him too. He's just as bad as LeBron. He just doesn't have as high of a profile. And I love Chris Paul. I don't care for LeBron James as a player, but I love Chris Paul's game. But let's just tell the truth. He with them folks too. And I've actually met Chris Paul in person. Hell, I'm not even getting into all that. Anyway, um, anyway. So this is the environment that we're in when it comes to our sports. This is the environment we're in when it comes to basketball and how basketball is used. You see, with no basketball, it took 6 weeks for the world to flip. As soon as the world flipped, I think we need some basketball. As soon as the basketball season started back in July, in that bubble, revolution done. Revolution done. So that's what sports does. The purpose of sports is to pass the black man's time and the poor white man too. But I don't speak for poor white people. They can speak for themselves. I speak for black people. I speak for us. They can speak for themselves. But the purpose of sports is to control our attention. Black people, black men, we disproportionately watch sports. We disproportionately watch sports. That's why they have so many black anchors on TV. Since you're going to be watching anyway, you probably would have watched one or two shows, but since I keep putting these black faces in front of you, and I'm going to keep some pretty black women in front of you too, for you to keep watching. Well, all except for Jamil Hill. She looked like Beetlejuice. And you see that shit she was writing about. She's part of this too. You see that shit she was writing about Kyrie's anti-Semitism. Jamil Hill, she can't wait to throw a black man under the bus. Her whole livelihood is due to black men. And why do I say that? They wouldn't let her black ass cover hockey, would they? She covered the NBA. So the fact the black men created an economy for her life to even exist. Okay? They didn't have Jamel Hill covering baseball. She may love baseball, but they don't have her covering swimming during the Olympics. She talks basketball. And that's an economy created for her by black men. But she can't find a time, date, or hour that ain't a good time to shit on black men. And so this is how sports works. Follow along with me. Follow along. I'm sorry. I apologize for not reading the chat room, but I got a stream of consciousness going. But follow along with me. Black, you black man, right? The most powerful presence on the planet, black man. Your woman is the most stable force on the planet. You two working together, dedicating your energy to lifting each other up. When it comes to a relationship, y'all, man, take this from a nigga that's got a dope ass marriage. The point of a relationship is for her to help mold you and for you to help mold her. And for you to develop a synergy and a symbiotic relationship with one another to where you can build something that you can pass down to your next. What if as black men, that was like, and black women, what if that was our primary focus? Knowing that, hey, look, we've been hurt, men have been hurt, women have been hurt, a lot has been done to us, but we focus our energy and passion on ourselves as building ourselves as individuals first, because you can't be in a good relationship without being a good person. So you want to build yourself as an individual first, and then you find someone that's on that journey of independence, that journey of building herself, and you guys meet up on this path of building your individual selves, and you create this relationship. Because our relationships are 1 + 1 = 3. That's a relationship. 1 + 1 = 3. That's how relationships work. And then that entity you create, that relationship is you spending your time, your energy, and your passion on making that thing work, making that thing right. And within that, you work together to build things. It's the reason why billionaires generally have wives on the way up 99.9% of the time. They may divorce some motherfuckers at some point, but because the whole point of family is to build legacy, to pass down. Not to be one of these hurt little bitch men running around talking about something. I'm never getting married. All you gotta do, shut your hurt ass up, nigga. That's pain talking. Get get over your pain, homie. Get past that shit. Cry your river. Go to therapy, nigga. Come to me for a car reading session if you need to. But hiding behind that pain is bullshit. Don't hide behind pain. Address pain, nigga. I got a point I'm making. I'm tying all this in. What if we spend our time, that time, if we spend that time working on ourselves and working on each other, working with your children, you know, not just sending your kids off to school and saying, what did you learn today? But when they come back from school, you got a whole nother lesson plan waiting on their ass. You have a neighbor down the street that has a skill you can send your son off to help hone that craft. And that's your focus. What if that's our focus? My offer, this is my opinion, but this is my offering to you guys. There was a time that was our focus, and that was during the time, really during Jim Crow, when we didn't have before desegregation. That's black when black people were the welders, the builders. That's back when we were inventing railroad crossings and elevators. That's back during the time we were inventing gas masks. We invented rubber. We invented not rubber. We invented plastic. That was during the time we were inventing the lawnmower. During the time we were inventing the doorknob. That was during the time we were inventing air conditioning and the freezer trucks. That was during the time we were just some bad. We still some bad motherfuckers today. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying we ain't, but we were doing some bad ass shit and under our oppression. Invented jazz, blues, vaudeville. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? How did that slow down? How did that slow down? What happened? You look and see families of black. You see the black marriage rate before the '60s was like 90 some odd percent black people married, two-parent households. The people had a certain walk in pride and respect and dignity when we educated ourselves, when those were our priorities. And it's not that those were our priorities because we were advanced. Those were our priorities because we were in survival mode. All we had was there was no social security for us back then. There was no social safety net. Our jobs were not covered under the New Deal. So we had to rely on each other. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? It's my offering that sports happened. Amongst integration, that's part of integration. That's integration was the primary thing, but niggas got government jobs and sports. Those are the two of the biggest blows. On top of the war on drugs, I'm not speaking of. See, and this is another thing I want to say. Oftentimes, you guys are used to listening to people when they speak about black people. They speak in the context of our lowest common denominator, the drug addicts, and the gang members. Every society has an underbelly. I don't care how wealthy a society gets. As much money as in white America, they still got a fuck ton of meth heads. But nobody speaks about white society in the context of meth heads, okay? So I'm speaking about black society tonight in the context of decent black society. The 80% of us that get up and go to work, the 85% of us that get up and go to work, that love our mamas, the 85% of us that love our children, do our best to be the best person we can be. Niggas may slip up and do a little thing here and there, but I don't judge that because we've been X'd out economically. You gotta do what you gotta do, partner. If you live the street life, I don't judge you over here. That ain't my thing, but when you live in a society that's X'd you out economically, there are gonna be people who have to do what they have to do. But I don't judge black people by that element. I judge us by the 85% that get up and go to work and try our best. You know what I mean? The people that, that go to, you may or may not go to church. You may or may not have a college degree. You try to enroll your kids in basketball and tutoring. I'm speaking to us right now, okay? That's what I'm speaking to. We, as a people, what happened to us? The 85% that got our head on straight. Government jobs and sports. That's what happened to us, in my opinion. Government jobs and sports. Niggas got them good government jobs that allowed them to move to the black suburbs because all black neighborhoods aren't ghettos. Every city has a black suburb or a black nice area. We always talk about the hood, but we never talk about the black nice areas, do we? It's almost like we're ashamed of our black nice areas. I be proud. Like I tell people, I grew up my late teens in View Park. What you got niggas that be like, huh? You was over there. Yeah, yeah, that was a neighborhood where black people had money, and I'm not ashamed of that. But sometimes you get black people that try to make you ashamed of it. Yeah, my parents had a nice fucking view of the city from their house. Yep, overlooking all of South Central LA. And I remember when I moved to the house, I had one of my friends came over. They're like, "You don't sit on the porch and just think you're looking down on everyone else." I was like, "Nigga, I never even thought about that." But now that you said it, I'm gonna look out this porch and look down on your ass for thinking that, nigga. Nigga, my wife grew up in an area. My wife never saw poverty and black poverty. Like my wife only saw black success. She didn't see none of that shit. She grew up in an area got a goddamn. She lived across the street from the president of Motown. At the time, Gerald Busby was the president of Motown. The city councilman lived right next door. My wife grew up in that kind of area. She didn't even know black people struggle. There are those of us out there who live that life and still do. But the downside to that is the black people who got that life, and not just the View Park, Crenshaw district. Let me go back to my living in the Crenshaw district. Living in the hood, I don't know how it is in your city, but let me tell you how it works here in LA. You got some areas that are just the bottom, but those are few and far between. Most black areas, one block you'll be on. What I mean? Yes, sir. You have a good night tonight, man. Yes, sir. You you'll be like here. Let me give you an example. Like 83rd in Vermont. 83rd wasn't shit, but you drive over to 86, man. Just regular ass middle class black people. Inglewood. They always talking shit about Inglewood. When they talk about Inglewood in the 90s being active, when they talk to you about Inglewood in the 90s being active, they're talking about a couple small areas. That area where they filmed Insecure, the Dunes, where Issa Rae lived, which I always thought that show Insecure was about gentrification and getting white people comfortable with the visuals of Inglewood. But that particular apartment building where Issa Rae lived, the Dunes, that apartment building wasn't shit. That's on Inglewood Ave. Inglewood, Eucalyptus, Beach, back then, that little pocket of Inglewood, Hyde Park, that wasn't shit. And then the other part of Inglewood, like off Crenshaw and like Arbor Vitae, Hardy, Crenshaw, like that whole little pocket, and then in the apartments, like where SoFi Stadium is now, they used to, where the Forum is, that pocket of Inglewood is a lot of shit that will go on. But Inglewood also had the Avs. Don't shit go on in the Avs in Inglewood. Fifth Ave, Sixth Ave, Eighth Ave in Inglewood, clean. Inglewood, part of Lower Ladera, clean. Clean, 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 clean. Why am I saying all this shit? Black people, what happened? The good side is the cleanliness. The downside is that turned niggas into permanent Democrats who thought they made it. And yes, they still understood white supremacy was there. Yes, they still understood all these things. But back in the '90s, if you talked any kind of revolutionary talking about, I ain't talking about the early '90s when you had the hip hop consciousness. As you get into the late '90s, '96, '97, '98, '99, you talking that conscious shit? What the fuck you talking about, nigga? 2000s? What you talking about, nigga? We got sports and good neighborhoods that bought niggas off. Good neighborhoods and sports. Instead of black people working on our families and making our families and making ourselves individuals, instead of self empowerment being the word of the day, the word of the day is who's better, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant? Who's better, Wilt or Shaq, LeBron or Kobe, Magic or, and it's just become this repetitive loop of bullshit conversation amongst the men. The men. It's our job to be building shit, creating shit. And yeah, the white folks knock us down, but get your punk ass up, nigga. But no, niggas ain't on that. Niggas is on who's better, who's worse, who's your top five rapper. And that's what we've been on. That's why they need sports. That's why sports is so necessary. Look at what it does to us. We ain't responsible with sports as a people. We are not responsible with sports as a people. So, Kyrie Irving posts a video that if you watch it, it may make your black ass think and see something. I haven't seen the video or read the book, but I know this. If they that mad, that mean that shit's telling the truth. Again, pattern recognition. You gotta recognize patterns as people. When you see them publicly ostracizing one and doing all kind of extras to put one out there and make that one publicly lynched, you gotta know that's a pattern. Who were they lynching in the 20s? They were lynching business owners. They were lynching property owners, people who own acres. That's who they were lynching. They were lynching black people who spoke out. They were lynching they were lynching black people who laughed in public because that's why they had barrels out. It was illegal for black people to laugh. So black people had to go stick their head in the barrel to laugh or show any kind of emotion. So what happens when you have black people that show emotion? They throw them out there. Pattern recognition. The white supremacists ain't that complicated. They do the same thing over and over and over again. Niggas just don't pay attention because you're too busy reading somebody's statistics. The amount of triple doubles a nigga has means more to niggas than recognizing the patterns, pattern recognition. Especially, look, let's just break it down, especially if you watch sports. Nigga, if you, okay, since you watch so much basketball fan, if the team, if every time the power forward flashes to the top of the key, he's gonna pick, if you know that person is just say back in a let's throw a name out Brooke Lopez because he can't move no more. If Brooke Lopez is coming to set a screen, you know he's gonna sit back and pop. He's not gonna roll. He's gonna pop. because Brook Lopez can't move anymore, but he can damn good shoot. You got to recognize that pattern, because once you recognize the pattern, you can hedge your defense against it to stop the play. But what if you keep saying every time he comes to set that screen, you thinking, well, what if he slip? What if he rolls? What if he fades? No, he's not going to fade. He's not going to slip. He's not going to roll. He's only going to pop because he can't move. The team that recognizes this glitch in the team's offense is the team that's going to win. Kobe Bryant said it all the time when he used to play. Kobe used to say he would just sometimes do 2 dribble pull-ups. He would attack the basket just to see who's going to be in help. He would do it once and then wouldn't do it the rest of the game. He would pull up, because he would know when there's 2 minutes left in the game, if he was going to attack the basket, they've been waiting and setting up for him to pull up all game. He knows how to attack the basket based on the pattern of how the defense rotated. So that's why he will win more championships than other people, because Kobe and Phil Jackson, those guys were quicker to recognize patterns. So in life, the people that win in life are the people in the groups of people, the races who win, are the races who recognize the patterns first and does something about it. So whether you're dealing with Nick Cannon, what did Nick Cannon say that was anti-Semitic? Has anyone, someone in the chat room, please tell me, go find the quote that Nick Cannon said that was anti-Semitic. And again, don't be that dumb nigga coming in here talking about some, well, I don't like Nick Cannon. He should have did it this way. If you wanted him, he should have did it this way, ass niggas, get the fuck out of here. All right? What did Nick Cannon say? Nothing. What did Kanye West say that was anti-Semitic? Def Con 3? That's not anti-Semitic. What did he say? What words? What words did Kyrie Irving say that are anti-Semitic? Recognize the pattern? Recognize the pattern? What is it? Public flocking. I mean, I said flocking. That's stealing. Public flogging. Public flogging. That's what it is. It's a public flogging. They flex it on us. That's right, Larry Smith. They're flexing on us. They're flexing their power. And they're saying how we gonna react. And that's why, as hard as it is for me, y'all know I love basketball. I can't fuck with it right now. I gotta see how they react first. Are they gonna stand 10 toes down, or are they gonna pull back? I don't know. Let's see. But in the meantime, I can't fuck with it. I'm staying an extra night. I'm paying for an extra night hotel coming up. I'm gonna miss my wife for one extra night because my plans was to go to a basketball game in DC. Now that's done. How am I gonna move forward after this? I don't know. I'm in wait and see mode. I'm not saying boycott. I hate the word boycott, but I can't fuck with the NBA seeing this flex. They flexing on us right now. They flexing on us. Adam Silver just basically said, you don't have the right to discuss who you really are, black people. Now watch basketball. AAX. A conspiracy is two people sitting in a room and agreeing upon something. That's what a conspiracy is, you dumbass. Get the fuck out my chat room with that stupid talk. Don't think everything's a conspiracy. No. Now I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't a conspiracy when your mama and your daddy got together. They didn't have no talk. He just looked at her. She spit her legs wide open, and he fucked. That was no conspiracy. They never got together and agreed on anything. She just gapped her legs in the back of an alley, and he came in through that glory hole and started stroking. 9 months later, you came shitting out. You dig? That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. Of course, Kyrie apologized. He works for the NBA. Kyrie's not a boss. He's an employee. He has to apologize. I don't fault him for it. He has to apologize. That's his job. That's his job. My question is how's everybody else? I'm not looking at Kyrie. I'm looking at how everybody else react. That's how I'm looking at it. Are you gonna be a artist? And here are the classes of people. Here are the classes of people when it comes to this. These are the classes of people. You're gonna have the Shaq, Shannon Sharp, Charles Barkley types. You better listen to Massa. Hush up and listen to Massa. That's one type you're gonna get. Other way you're gonna get is the black people going around arguing with each other on how Kyrie should have done it. He should have said it this way and not that way. He should have promoted this movie instead of that movie. Oh man, why he apologized? And you got them niggas and or they're gonna be like, well, Kyrie is doing it different than what Kanye doing. Kanye was this, and Nick Cannon was that, but Kyrie is this, and all that is. And for people who talk like that, I got a question for you. After you're done comparing who's legit and who ain't, what problem does that solve? And how does that help you combat the people doing this to you? That's my question. Because whether you do it Nick Cannon's way, Kyrie's way, or Kanye's way, what's the final result? Cancellation. That's the final result. You getting kicked out of what we do and being called to the carpet and being treated like a boy. That's the final result, no matter how the approach is. So you're gonna have a whole bunch of niggas, and it's gonna be the majority of niggas right here. It's not gonna be as many cooning like Charles Barkley. 5 or 6 years ago, it'd been more in the Charles Barkley Shaq category. But it's people that are getting more on code now. So, but the biggest audience is gonna be this one, because you still got people who are on code, but they'll still spend their time in that stupid ass argument over about how Kyrie should have done it, or ranking, saying the way Kanye did it was better. That dumb talk. And then you got those of us who gonna sit out and see what's going on and allow it to play out and just pull back. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being wise about it. I'm just pulling back. Because what happened when I used to play football? I snap that ball, when they run that screen, if you go in blitz and they run a screen pass on your ass, they got a touchdown. When they hike that ball, you got to step back and watch the play. Okay? Basketball. If you're playing center, either defensive anchor, when you backpedaling down the court, you got to be, you better be looking. Hey, get the three. Pick them up at half court. Get him at free throw line and send it. No, step out, step out. You got to step back and see how, and watch the play develop. And you react. You you get yourself in the best position that can hopefully force them to react. But whenever they make their reaction, you be prepared to move your feet and react to that. This ain't a time to be sitting down and arguing about how somebody did something or what somebody should have said. That's stupid nigga talk. Talking about what somebody should have said. And when in real life, if you was in that position, you wouldn't have said shit. You would have been quiet, just like you quiet at your job right now. You'd have been quiet just like you quiet at your job right now. So it ain't about what you would have done. It's not what it's about. They testing us right now, black people. They testing us. And let me tell you something. Times are changing. I think, methinks, Adam Silver made the wrong move this time. I don't think this is going to work out the way he thinks it is. Because he doesn't know that times are changing. We're in a different world than we were when he took over the league from David Stern in 2014. We're in a different time. And people are giving less of a fuck. And the children are already disengaged with basketball. Let's tell you the truth. The children just want to watch some highlights and then play some video games. They don't watch. Children don't watch whole games anymore. The rest of the world, a, a lot of people are seeing what this is of all races around the world. I've been looking at some of the international little translation tweets. Like, dude, what did he say? I don't know that this gonna work out the way Adam Silver wants it to work out. You're right, Connor. For players like Kyrie now have support. And right now, and y'all know me, I'm the biggest basketball fan that's ever existed. So somebody like me, if somebody like me is willing to not watch basketball and just to totally divorce myself from it until things are right, I know I ain't the only one. I ain't the only one. I am not the only one. So we're in some interesting time, people. We are in interesting times, y'all. And I'm here just to say I'm here. I'm watching how it plays out, okay? And we're gonna have regular catch ups. Ooh, matter of fact, this is what I might do. I might do a reading show while I'm in DC if the Wi-Fi on the computer is good enough. I might read Kyrie Irving's cards. I might do that. I might do that. Yeah, I might read Kyrie Irving's cards and see how they play out and read those against the NBA. Yeah, I might redo a relationship reading between Kyrie Irving and the NBA. I might do that shit live on here. I might do that. If I don't do it while I'm out in DC, I do it when I come back. But I might do that while I'm in DC. Especially since Sunday night, since I ain't going to that. I'm planning on going to the Wizards game Sunday night. Shit. So yeah, y'all agree? See, Bessie? Yeah, you think y'all think they made the wrong moves? Yep. See now, Reese, I feel you said Reese 1981, but right now it ain't about Kyrie no more. It's not about Kyrie anymore. Now it's about us. Look, no, there's nothing we gotta learn as people too. People can only take a baton but so far. And if a person takes the baton and runs it 2 inches, that's fine. If a person takes the baton and runs it 2 miles, that's fine. Some people are going to take the baton and run it 500 feet. However long they take the baton and run it, it's fine. The key is whenever someone takes up a baton and they're standing on their square, or when I say when taking up the baton, that means just when they're targeted by the white supremacists. However far they take it is fine. The question is, how do we react? We got to make ourselves as the collective as accountable as we want to be our athletes and entertainers to be. Okay? Even our athletes and entertainers that do have a good heart, that want to do it the right way, they can only do so much. What they need is us. We have to be as accountable. We got to see when something happens like someone like a Kyrie Irving, how do we react? Do we put our head down and say, well, man, too bad, so sad. Now, what time the game start? Do we do that? Or do we say, you know what? I got something more constructive to do than a game right now. Do we say, you know what? I see Stephen A. Smith and Shaq and all these guys. They don't say anything good for me as a black man, as people. They say things and totally ignore our plight, and that while being totally judgmental and punishing towards those who punished us. No, I'm not gonna watch Inside the NBA tonight. I'll pass. I'll watch a YouTube video instead. No, no, no. I'm not gonna watch that Lakers Suns game. I'll, you know, sit down with my child and talk to my children about more than school. That's nothing with parents. That's why I wrote my book on hotepish.com/shop. Tell it like it is, the art of loving communication. That book tells you how to talk to your kids, man. Because oftentimes parents only talk to their kids about things. What are you doing? Where are we gonna go? How's grade? How are your grades? How are your grades? Take out the trash. Fold your clothes. And then the kids left to their own devices and putting the world together because parents don't talk to them. How about during the 2 hours you was gonna watch that game, talk to your kids about more than just the mundane business of life. Talk to your kid about just some get into their life. You know, who's that girl you looking at? You know, what's her name? You know, or what game are you playing? Let's play some video games together. Let's cook together. I'm gonna teach you how to cook. I'm gonna teach you how to cook. I'm gonna teach you whatever. How about we spend our time from basketball doing that? Because you can't. One thing you gotta know is you can't just not do something. You gotta replace it. If you're used to doing something every day at a certain time of the day, or you cannot just not do that. You got to do something else. So how about when basketball comes on, you do some constructive shit with your kids. Here's an idea. I just tell parents all the time. When it's time to put your QuickBooks, whatever you use to balance your money, whatever that is, how about you go through that with your children? You know, you can do this with them as young as 8, as young as 6 or 7, when they first learn the math. 8 years old, really 8. When they really get into math, they should be doing math before 8. But by the time they get to 8, they're at the level of you should be teaching them. Okay, this is how much mommy and daddy have coming in, and this is how much me and mommy and daddy have going out. So every time you ask me for a pair of shoes or a new video game or whatever, that comes out of this total net amount. And this is why you're in math class. You're in math class so you can learn how to do these things. Because when you're an adult in 12 years, when you're an adult in 10 years, you're gonna have to learn how to balance this part of your life. How much money you put out versus how much money you bring in. What I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to do here is give you guys solutions. I'm not just saying don't do something. I'm saying these are things that we can do instead that can help build our families. Fellas, you got a girl, you ain't got no kids, but you got a girl, you like me, man. Look, when you like this, what I did with the NFL. Let me give you guys a real life example of how I got away from the NFL. I used to get NFL Sunday ticket every year. I used to watch all the games. At Sunday, especially when I quit church, I had Sunday ticket when I was in church, and I would miss the first set of games because I had to play the drums at church, and I would watch. But then when I quit church, man, I was so happy to finally be home on a Sunday. That whole Colin Kaepernick, that whole boycott the NFL thing started 4 years after I got out of church. I had been waiting my whole life to quit church. I finally quit church. I said I'm gonna watch football every fucking Sunday, and I'm only a few years sober from church. That wasn't easy to give up football. I had been wanting to not go to church my whole goddamn life to watch football. That time is finally here. Now here come this shit. But for me, I didn't make that about Colin Kaepernick. And if you're a Facebook friend of mine, you saw that. I said if we make this about Colin Kaepernick, the movement's going to be done. Same thing with right here, Kyrie Irving. This isn't about Kyrie anymore. It's about the respect. It's about the respect for your culture and respect for your independent thought. So what I did to replace, instead of watching football, that's when me and my wife would start like driving up to wine country. We would go to like when we go to wine country to go wine tasting. We would do that on Sundays. Me and the wife made Sunday date day. And what better thing it is to do than go out and have fun with your wife? And if you don't have a wife that you can have fun with, I'm sorry for you, my brother. Too bad, so sad. But for the rest of you, if you with her, you may as well have fun with her. Shit. So I replaced the NFL with just fun time with my wife. And shit. That was 2016. We in 2022. 6 years now. It's been 6 years since I stopped watching football. I don't give a fuck about football. Now, me and the wife may not do something fun every Sunday, but if I'm not doing something fun with her, nigga, I'm doing something. Got to replace it. Hey, what's up, Andre Theobald? I ain't seen you up here in a minute. That nigga, that nigga Andre got a reverend last name. Like, I swear to God, if I go to a church and the pastor's last name is Theobald, that nigga ain't gonna let you have no fun. Niggas, Pastor Theobald to have you in church 9 hours a day. I'm the great Reverend Theobald. I'm gonna be in your city this weekend, Andre. I'm gonna be in your city. Be in your city. Salute to Andre. I remember I remember when I did that show with Freeze Love. When we said that comedy show with Freeze Love, Andre would come down to the show. No, I'm not sitting on a hover around scooter. I'm sitting on your mama's lap. She said I'm too heavy. Um, but anyway, what y'all talking about? That's my stream of consciousness on that. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. Got my man. I gotta. What's up, Amara? Yeah, but what's up, Takeover? But yeah, we being flexed on right now as a culture. You know, uh, Jesus is the homie. Yeah, Kurt. Jesus is the homie. I love the Lord. Yeah, I love. Yeah, okay, yeah. So back to what I was talking about though. We can't get caught up in who is who. Let's not major in the minors. Remember this, people. Let's get a little, it's inspired by spiritual. Let's get a little bit spiritual. Jesus is an archetype, not a person. Jesus is an archetype. The person that's unpopular during their time, waking up the masses, getting publicly lynched and sacrificed for the greater good of the society. That's all the story arc of Jesus is. It's a person that wakes up society to heal itself at a time society's not ready for the message and kills them off, and in death, message reigning louder than it did in life. That's all the story of Jesus is about. I ain't saying none of these corny ass entertainers are Jesus. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is pay attention to the story. When you see something that's a whole again, I don't get it. That church shit, it's not about the church, it's about learning the lessons from the stories. All that shit's just parables. It's just parables of life lessons. Black people, we teach in parables. Smokey Robinson taught you how to love through music. He said it'd be easier to take the wet from water or the dry from sand than it would be for anyone to take my love from you. That was a song by Smokey Robinson. Easy. It would be easier to take the wet from water or the dry from sand than from anyone to take my love for you. Smokey Robinson wasn't saying wet can come from water or dry can come from sand. What he was using that metaphorically to tell a story. And if you understand the metaphors of the Bible, you can learn the lesson. If you caught in the religion, then you ain't gonna learn shit. You're just gonna be a judgmental prick. Anyway, if you understand the lesson of the Jesus story of the people that come, the people when you see people, when the dominant society is publicly lynching somebody black, at that point you got to sit back and ask yourself, what are they saying? Why is this black person being lynched for having an opinion and not that black person being lynched for having a different opinion? Why does it seem the only people that make money are the ones who agree with the people doing the lynching? And you got to ask yourself, okay, what am I being told here? What's the story being told to me? Life is a story. You got to see it that way. We watching the play happen in front of us. You can't take this shit personal. You can't take this shit personal. It's just a story. What's happening? What's going on? What's being told? Gotta ask yourself this. Instead of jumping in and taking sides. Niggas like jumping in and taking sides. Kyrie's wrong. I don't see what Shannon Sharp said that was wrong. I think Shannon was right. Taking sides. That person's a coon. This person's not a coon. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with that? The whole point is not to take sides. Because again, if Kyrie pulls all the way back to them tomorrow and says, not only do I apologize, I am going to donate my whole salary and I'm going to change my name to Herkowitz, and I denounce everything I said. I denounce the movie I posted. I'm going to take the vaccine. What if Kyrie does that? Does that change the fact that the NBA tried to boss up on black people? All Nike had to do was give Colin Kaepernick a deal, put a shoe out there for everybody to buy, and he shut the fuck up. And now everything is normal in football as if 2016 never happened. But the reasons Kaepernick protested, those things are still going on. All the things he protested still happening. But the story goes on because people made it about the messenger and not about the message. You make it about Kyrie and not the experience Kyrie and not the fallout that's happened around the move that Kyrie made, you're going to miss the message. It's not about Kyrie Irving anymore, black folks. Kyrie Irving, he's just a chess piece. He made that move. There's other chess pieces on the board. It's not about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving could wake up tomorrow and denounce everything that he did. It ain't about him no more. It's, a, it's above his pay grade now. This shit's about us. How we gonna react? How we gonna respond? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. How we gonna act? And get your candles at lightthemood.com. Jayla, the self-esteem queen, got them dope ass candles. Lightthemood.com. Weed Smoke 22. That is my discount code for 40% off. Weed Smoke 22. Get them candles from Jayla and get them now. So, again, not about Kyrie no more. It's about the NBA is trying to punk Black America. Are we going to fall in line? What we going to do? Who's that back there? That's my neighbor down the street. I ain't money. I don't know who the fuck that is. They don't live over here. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't even recognize that motherfucker. Who is that talking? They way down. Y'all picked that up? Them motherfuckers is way down the street. Them niggas is like 10 houses down. I don't even see them. I see them, but I don't know who that is. Yeah, so that's what it's about, black people. How we gonna react, black man? I'm not fucking with the NBA right now. I don't know. I don't know if this is permanent. I don't know if it's temporary. I don't know. We'll see how the NBA respond. I don't know. I'm not fucking with them for the foreseeable future. I'm not doing that. What's up, Canterbury? This nigga, like, I wish this bitch would shut up. God damn. The fuck? I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to. I got a flight in the morning. And I got my man franchise, the one y'all saw on last night. Shit, we about to get high. I just finished smoking. We about to get high as hell. Probably about to smoke 2 more blunts with this nigga before I go to bed. But man, thank y'all for listening, for real, because These are questions that we got. We got to have this conversation. Where do we go from here? And we're going. We this isn't this discussion doesn't end now. It's going to keep going. Okay. We're going to keep having these talks, and we're going to play. We're going to play this play by play the same way we do sports. In sports, you make every play by play. In life, you live day by day, step by step. And we taking this step by step. We're gonna see how this plays out. In the meantime, the NBA, I'm just not fucking with you. I'm not using the word boycott. Y'all can boycott. Y'all can use it. I don't boycott shit. I just stop fucking with you. That's just how I get down. I just don't fuck with you. Now, right now, I'm just not fucking with the NBA. And I'll be calling DirecTV. The least I can do is get my money back from DirecTV. I will do that. Get my money back from DirecTV on NBA League Pass. That's what I will do. Shit, my battery over here going out. Yeah, I gotta go. My battery over here dying and shit. Yeah, but the least I can do is get rid of them motherfuckers. But get your readings at breakthroughas.org. Or it look like the fighting couple are walking in opposite directions. Oh, now they're coming back. Oh, shit. I'm not about to watch this shit. Yeah, my phone dying anyway. But remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Let's watch how this play out, y'all. Let's keep talking about it. All right.